friends, it's our second video. In this video, firstly we will talk about Asiatic cheetah. The world's fastest land mammal, the cheetah is a unique and specialized member of the cat family and can move at the speed of 112 km per hour. The cheetah is often mistaken for a leopard. Its distinguished marks are the long teardrop-shaped lines on each side of the nose from the corner of its eyes to its mouth. Prior to the 20th century, cheetahs were widely distributed throughout Africa and Asia. Today, the Asian cheetah is nearly extinct due to a decline of available habitat and prey. The species was declared extinct in the India long back in 1952. Students, if you look around, you will be able to find out how we have transformed nature into a resource obtaining directly and indirectly from the forest and wildlife, wood, fuel, bark, fodder, manure, etc. So it is we ourselves who have depleted our forest and wildlife. The greatest damage inflicted on Indian forest was during the colonial period due to the expansion of the railways, agricultural, commercial and scientific forestry and mining activities. Even after independence, agricultural expansion continues to be one of the major causes of depletion of forest resources. Between 1951 and 1980, according to the Forest Survey of India, over 26,200 square kilometer of forest area was converted into agricultural land all over India. Substantial parts of the tribal belts, especially in the northeastern and central India, have been deforested and degraded by shifting cultivation, which is known as a zooming cultivation, a type of slash and burn agriculture. So what we can say, are colonial forest policies to be blamed? Some of our environmental activists say that the promotion of a few favored species in many parts of India has been carried through the ironically termed enrichment plantation, in which a single commercially valuable species was extensively planted and other species eliminated. For instance, teak monoculture has damaged the natural forest in South India, and char pine trees like a plantation in Himalayas have replaced the Himalayan oak. Large-scale development projects have also contributed significantly to the loss of forest. Since 1951, over 5,000 square kilometers of forest was cleared for the river valley projects. Clearing of forest is still continuing, with projects like the Narmada Sagar projects in Madhya Pradesh, which would inundate 40,000 hectares of forest. Mining is another important factor behind deforestation. The Buxa Tiger Reserve in the West Bengal is seriously threatened by the ongoing dolomite mining. It has distributed the natural habitat of many species and blocked the migration route of several others, including the great Indian elephant. Many forest and environmentalists hold the view that the greatest degrading factors behind the depletion of forest are grazing and fuel wood collection. Though there may be some substances in their argument, yet the effect remains that a substantial part of the fuel fodder demand is met by lopping rather than by felling entire trees. The forest ecosystem are repositories of some of the country's most valuable forest products, minerals and other resources that meet the demands of the rapidly expanding industrial urban economy. These protected areas thus mean different things to different people, and therein lies the fertile ground for conflicts. We are having an example of Himalayan yew here. Himalayan yew is a tree which is in trouble. It is a medicinal plant found in various parts of Himachal Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. A chemical compound called Taxol is extracted from the bark, needles, twigs and roots of this tree, and it has been successfully used to treat some cancers. The drug is now the biggest selling anti-cancer drug in the world. The species is under great threat due to overexploitation, and in the last 1 decade thousands of yew trees have dried up in the various parts of Himachal Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. Students, we have talked about the depletion of flora and fauna. Now we will talk about its conservation. Conservation in the background of rapid decline in wildlife population and forestry has become very essential. But why do we need to conserve our forest and wildlife? Conservation preserves the ecological balance and diversity of our life and water, air and soil also. It also preserves the genetic diversity of plants and animals for better growth of species and breeding. For example, in agriculture, we are still dependent on traditional crop varieties, fisheries, Two are heavily dependent on the maintenance of aquatic biodiversity. In the 1960 and the 1970, conservationists demanded a national wildlife protection program. The Indian Wildlife Protection Act was implemented in 1972 with various provisions for protecting habitat, and All India list of protected species was also published. The thrust of the program was towards the protecting the remaining population of certain endangered species by banning hunting, giving legal protection to their habitats, and restricting trade in wildlife. Subsequently, central and many state governments established national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, about which you have already studied. The central government also announced several projects for protecting specific animals which were gravely threatened, including the tiger, the one-horned rhinoceros, the Kashmir stag or hangul, three types of crocodile: freshwater crocodile, saltwater crocodile, and the gharial, the Asiatic loin, and others. Most recently, the Indian elephant, black buck, the great Indian bustard, and the snow leopard, etc., have been given full or partial legal protection against hunting and trade throughout India. Students, about Project Tiger and the distribution of forest, we will talk about these topics in our next video. Thank you so much.